every band made money, so it was a win. And then we applied. We did our vinyl launch there last November. We went back to release. We released a single called Far Away Star on 7-inch vinyl. We chose that venue to do the launch at, and it was the same thing. We actually went back and got a bigger crowd. There was so every band pulled their weight selling pre-sales, and it come off to be a really good number of people come through the door. And then there was another 21 or 30 people come in, without tickets, just on the night, not knowing who was there or that, or maybe they heard a radio interview, like a community radio interview, and came and had a look. And it was a huge success as well. And we actually did our Brisbane launch before the tour, so we were buzzed from that, and then went down and played a half a dozen shows down like Sydney, Newcastle, Lismore, a bunch of them, and then sort of came back and we're like, right, well, that was fun. We made a vinyl, we sold heaps, and so yeah, we basically came back thinking, oh, what's next? And it was kind of funny. I just sort of emailed a bunch of venues, sort of expecting no one to reply, and then all of a sudden I had all these dates, and the band was aware I was doing it, but I was just sort of like, okay, well, we're playing here, here, and here, and here, and then they're like, oh, okay, and then so away we went. It was no thought; it was just a natural thing. Let's do it again, and so we.
That's great, man. Because that's what I was getting at is no one does that.
Yeah.
You understand that? Every dude who holds a guitar. There might be one hard worker in the band and 3 lazy bastards who just expect that. Dude, you just get famous. You just get famous.
Yeah, that's
look
right.
at me.
Well, I'm lucky. It's the guys in the band. I've been in and out of since about 2013. I've been gigging hard in Brisbane, and the hardest thing about starting a band is finding the right people. You'll finally find the right dudes in the musical sort of sense, and then you work out your personalities don't work, or this or that, or they don't want to work at all, and you're like, well, you don't just get giving gigs, and you don't just I got a gig and it's at Lismore, and it's like, oh, well, I can't afford to get down there or whatever. And it's like, you did realise to be in a band, you can't just play your local for the rest of your life, so it's fine trying to find the right people that are willing to do a little tour. And people, I'll be talking to other bands and they'll say, oh, how do you do it? I'm like, it's just a long weekend, leave Thursday, come home Monday, and you've jam 5 shows in, and then come back and do the Gold Coast, do Brisbane and maybe Toowoomba or Woodford. And so you got 2 solid weekends, but you've played 15 shows, I think, is on something like that. It works out to be a ton of shows.
And what you get out of that is every band in Brisbane goes, do you see what those motherfuckers just did? Do you see what they just did? You just raised above all. Even a big band would go, damn, someone's working that out.
Well, I don't think we have any credibility yet. I mean,
that band? Look, I played bass. Where is it? There's a poster there. The Bastards.
Oh yeah, cool. I like the band name already.
Mate, I played bass in that band.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, great music, right? It really is, right?
Yep.
Irish singer oh please, that sort of crap. But guess what? Maybe 3 gigs in 5 years, and I book all the bands, the gigs, but I stood firm and went, none of these buses are going to book any gigs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to be, principal. We're old anyway. It doesn't really matter. But,
and just see what happened, and see,
nothing.
And we're sort of lucky. Mitch, our bassist, is he's sort of on all the media things. He's really into the whole he knows all this crazy music because he's up in the speed with technology, so he can do a lot of emailing and this and that, and he'll write out this application thing, and it's like, wow, is that even us? And then you actually think, oh well, we did play there and we did do that, but the way he writes it up is makes you look good, and you need to do that. And George, the same thing. He worked at a backline company and supplying backline to all these great venues for years, so he knows.
Is he the guitar player?
Yeah, he's a lead guitarist.
Well, that's great.
Oh, he's got
what guitar? He's got a Gibson. Is it a Explorer? Or
he's got a black Explorer. He's got a wine red Les Paul. He's got.
How's that photo from Crumman Creek Tavern?
Oh yeah. He's
you're
good.
Standing on the Marshall.
yeah.
Oh man.
That was fun gig.
Again, that stuff. makes a band look like a band. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some bands you go, a bunch of dorks when you actually find their photos. But then you go, hang on a minute. Good guitar, good amps, good this.
Yeah. Well, I just that was sort of like, as far as putting on a show. Like, I mean, the music does that to you anyway. But like all the bands, when I was 15, and I'd watch when you're 15, you're full of attitude and you're a know-it-all, and you're like, you know, I could hear a band on the radio and be like, I like them, and then you watch a DVD and they don't move, and you're like, they're shit. And then but then you see a band like playing like it's their last show ever, and they're just giving the crowd everything, and I'm like, I love that. And like, so after watching DVDs and going to live shows and seeing that, you're like, wow, like, I mean, not that you're copying them, it's just sort of like an expectation. You're like, well, that's, if you want to play rock, you know, like, got your body needs to rock. Yeah. So, yeah.
The way I see it is accents. You have to highlight accents of the songs and tell people why you like bang bang this bit. And what about bum 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 bum? You have to. It has to be shown. If you got some dude just going.
Yeah. No,
I want to kill them.
Our bass player has all these cool runs, and I know for myself, like, learning guitar, you don't really, when you're young and like not really know much about music, you're just learning guitar, so all you listen to is the riff and the solo, but eventually you start listening to the other instruments and hearing the cool parts. But our bass player's got some great bass licks, and I always think, like, to the guy that doesn't really know much about the bass, I always point, like if it's coming up to a really cool bass lick, I'll just like look at like our bassist, or I'll point at him, or I'll kick at him, you know, like, you know, here it comes, you know, because I'm excited for it, and people look at, like, you know, people will then look, well, what's he doing over the bass player, you know, and it just shows off this cool part, you know, because sometimes you know, you need to see what you're hearing as well, you know, and that's all part of it, you know, and it's just the music does it at the end of the day, and you're just reacting to the music. But as long as you let yourself react and just forget everything and fall into it, you know, that's the fun bit. I
always say it's like, hey, it's Friday night. You know, like, face it, none of us in this room right now are working. Like, if you're not having a good time, especially if you're on stage with a guitar in your hand,
that's right.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
It just reminded me, like, I stopped thinking about that for a while, but I used to, like, I was in a band before Former Angels, and I used to always say that to one of the members. I'm like, it's Friday night, like. Essentially, when you're at work, you've been in prison all week, and then you're on stage. It's like, all right, you've got half an hour freedom. Go do what you want, and then come back. You know, it's like you're free for like that half an hour, and you just, you know, the world's yours. Yeah. Even if you're just in this tiny little cringy bar, you know, but it's just, you don't look at it like that.
I had this girlfriend. She was real sort of this beautiful. When I lived in Sydney. Yep. And we were playing all these gigs back then, and we were the band that played too many gigs, like you were saying before.
Oh, yeah.
We would just take on every gig all the time. All the time. We lost all our, you know, you have to have your crowd come to certain bangers.
Yep.
Anyway, the story is this half Papua New Guinean Aussie girl, massive in every way, big body, raw, man. Anyway, but she was a handful, like 2 drinks, and she'd be like, let's go out till 6 in the morning, pretty much every night. And I'm the short dude just following around this Amazon woman. But she said something pretty funny, right? So no one ever knew why she was with me either. She was a stunner. Mm-hmm. But so I quit that band. I actually quit bull rushing the band and I to do something else. Yep. And then she quit me.
Oh yeah, right.
And the reason she didn't like me anymore was she said because when I played guitar in that band for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. She could see that I didn't care about her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it was true. Because in her presence, I was like, you know, I was her bitch, really. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on stage, I didn't give a shit.
You're in your own world,
bang, accent.
Yeah.
It never left me, hey?
Well,
like, and how powerful that is to women or people, like far out, these dudes on stage, you know.
Well, yeah, like some people will look at you like you're an idiot, but I just think, well, they're the people that don't get it. You know, they've never experienced it. You know, some people love it. Like some people will come up and say, "Oh, your energy, rah rah, you know, made me want to jump and all that." And you get that a lot, but then you'll get the odd person that will just look at you like, eh. And you're like, I mean, sometimes you like, well, you can sort of think, well, hang on, maybe I'm a bit of an idiot, you know, doing all this. But then you think, no, they've just never experienced what I'm doing. You know, it's like,
jealous.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I wish they learned guitar or something.
Yeah, like they, you know, they're the ones that, you know, they it's like, I mean, I'm not a redhead or anything, but you kind of sort of see it on TV, like, oh, look at this idiot doing a skid, you know, but it's like, you know, like, I don't do that personally. I can't afford the tires, but but like. They don't feel like an idiot because right there they're doing something that's doing something in their body, adrenaline or whatever, so they don't feel, it's kind of like being an idiot on stage, or not just becoming an animal and releasing all your inner animal, and forgetting about the whole world.
Without being drunk, isn't it weird?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't
right.
It weird?
Yeah.
And hey, man, I don't even dance in front of bands.
Yeah.
But in this, put me on a guitar.
Yeah. That's right. I'm
like,
the same.
It's over.
Same. I was actually a couple of weekends ago. I was like getting photos, like, no, it was just nothing band related, and everyone's like, "Oh, you going shy, Ryan? What's wrong? I'm like, "Oh, I'm all right." And I must have just been my attitude, showing them that I was like uncomfortable or whatever. And then there was a guitar in the room, and they're like, "I'll get a photo of the guitar." And all of a sudden, like, I'm pulling faces and doing this, and they're like, "Oh, now you're comfortable." And I didn't really know when I was uncomfortable. I didn't know what they were sensing, but obviously I was doing something, And then when I got the guitar, I was smiling, I was happy, rah rah. And they're like, "Oh, now you're comfortable." I'm like, "Oh, hang on, you're right. Like, I kind of was a bit weird before, yeah. And it's just,
it's like just some people can't even sing well without a guitar.
Yeah.
They feel so naked.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. Like, I find the guitar sort of makes me sing louder and better, and like, you just sort of,
Heavy stance sort of stuff,
Yeah, and it's sort of like, it's like your weapon, like you can take on the world, like, yeah.
Speaking of, what was your first guitar?
Well, I never ever did guitar lessons. I taught long story short, I taught myself, but the reason I sort of had that ability is my sister's boyfriend, well now it's her husband, but he had an acoustic guitar, and I was like, I just started like learning this riff to Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, and it's so great. Yeah, that's the one. And he brought his acoustic down, and I just basically taught myself on that, and then I bought an acoustic guitar, which was only like a $240 guitar, but I write all my songs on it. Like, it's always in the lounge room, and I write songs on it. But my first guitar, I left school at 15, and I just started working. So I just saved all my money, and my first guitar, only because I wanted it, was just a Gibson SG. I'm just like, I just left school at 15 and worked like a dog, getting paid, what's that Smashing Pumpkins song, minimum wage, right in the cage. That was basically me for about 2 years, and then I had a Gibson SG, and I'm like, well, that was worth it. And then, and that's I'll never ever trade that guitar. I'm so loyal to it. Like I learnt on that guitar, so I kind of look at it like that guitar taught me so many things. Like
it's cool. That was your first guitar. A lot of people get crap. Crap first guitars, and they never progress. So you're actually putting a big trophy in your hand.
Yeah. Well, I remember
better get good at this, or at least understand the power of this actual.
I remember my boss at the time, because like I was I saved up all this money, and he used to talk to me because I was only 15, and he was like drive me to work and give me all the old man wisdom stuff. And I told him like, I've got like 2,400 saved up, and he's like, oh, that's really good. And like, because I was getting paid nothing, it was pretty good. And he's like, and then like a week later, I'm like, I spent all that money. And he's like, what on? I'm like, I bought a guitar. And he's like, well, you better learn how to play it. I just sort of like, I used to just always think like, my first guitar I want to keep forever. Like it's going to be a sentimental thing. So I could have went and bought the $100 thing, and I'm like, no, I can learn on my acoustic. My acoustic plugged into an amp, and like I was only playing in my bedroom. It would have sounded bad, but I couldn't play anyway, so I didn't need a good guitar to there was no point giving me a $200 electric, because I would have sounded just as bad on an acoustic running through a distorted amp anyway. And but by the time I saved up the SG, I learned a few songs. I was learning AC/DC or Guns N' Roses stuff, and by the time I got that electric guitar, I was pretty good. I don't even like saying I'm pretty good now, but I had an understanding to know how to play some songs. And so I was stoked, and I just played that guitar to death. It's even, I bought it in, I can't remember when, but it's even like a bit of the varnish is coming off at one point, and it's like getting all its natural wear, and I'll never put that guitar down. It's always my go-to guitar. I've got it's not a fake, it's not a real Les Paul, but it's a one-off hand-built Les Paul that I got for the right price. So that's my other guitar if my SD breaks a string. Just recently I was given a gift from a really good friend of mine, another guitar, but I'm too scared to play it. I do play it, but I don't want to sweat on it. It's a Angus Young signature SG. I was just given that as a gift. Yeah, I've known the guy since I was a baby. Long story short,